But we rocking and rolling on this Throwback Thursday, having a good time. But we have some special guests joining us. Today
Absolutely, man. And we've been talking a lot about. We had conversations around travel teams, things of that nature, and all of us in here have been involved in that in some form or fashion. And I ran into these gentlemen around a sportsmanship conversation, which we're going to have at some point as well. But they are involved and started a company that I thought was kind of ingenious in terms of what they're doing and the services they're providing for a lot of people around the country. Not only here in North Carolina, but literally around the country. And we got big time people coming in. Normally they send like the marketing director. Or Joe in the mailroom. We don't have that situation today.
Vice President of Communications.
There you go.
I like those.
But how about the CEO? Is that good enough?
Usually they can do what the communication director does.
and co-founder and the president and the co-founder. I'm talking about Brendan Szulik as well as Daniel Caldwell up in the building from Silbo, up in hanging out with the sports shop. Welcome to the sports shop, my friend. How's it going?
To the show.
Thanks for having us.
And there's a little contention going on, a little problem because because last night, Duke played NC State.
Did they?
And good point. It just so happens that Brendan is from. No, he wears that blue that you guys like.
Oh, okay,
unfortunately.
Good. Okay, good.
The dark blue.
Oh, good.
And Daniel is from the Wolfpack Nation, if you will. So, of course, Daniel's been giving Brendan a hard time, I guess, right there.
We don't get our opportunities, so gotta take them when we can.
I mean, I'm just saying, nothing like kicking a man when he's down.
Amen.
Kicking a man when he's down.
Brendan, let me start with you. Talk about Silbo. Talk about the impetus of getting it started, and what is it? Because I ain't really said that yet.
Yeah, I'll attribute the genius behind the company to Daniel. But what the company is basically it's a way for sports leagues to connect directly with referees, right? So typically, if you're a sports league, you don't know the referee, so how do you get them? And Silbo is that option. So if you're a sports league or a travel team or a club, you can put your games online, and a referee uses the Silbo mobile app to select the games that they want to work, and they get paid through the app and everything weekly. And so it's a really efficient way for people to get to get games and be referees, and then also B to become referees, right? That there's no real easy way to do it right now, and hopefully with Silbo, people have that opportunity.
Outstanding. So speaking of Silbo, it's a mobile app. It's an app that you guys use and be a part of the community, and then also you have an opportunity for people to hire you directly from the app.
Oh yeah, it's but I would say not hire you, that you get to choose, right?
Okay.
So if you're qualified and there's a game open in Wake Forest or Clayton or wherever you want to go that night, you can choose it. So that's the real difference between us and what currently exists in the industry, which is that you're beholden to someone, and then that person is called an assigner. And so say it's, Friday night at 5 and you get a call from your assigner and they're like, hey, I need you to go somewhere at 7 p.m. And you're like, I got a date. I got the kids.
Right.
Well, if you don't,
you don't take it. You put yourself at the bottom of the list.
Bingo.
Because I used to referee.
You know exactly.
Right. So I know exactly how this works. And then if your commissioner doesn't like you, well I won't say that because then they get mad. But if you get up at the bottom of the list, right? So this is where you get a chance to actually truly be a free agent, so to speak.
Amen.
And manage your own time, talent, and resources, if you want to think of it that way. Being able to do that. So. Man, I have so many questions now. Now that I'm starting to kind of process how it actually works. But so how do you guys deal with – so you already have to be associated with a commissioner or associated with the league? Or as long as you're certified and you already have your certification, then you can go ahead and be a part of that.
And actually, you can get people certified, too, that want to become a referee.
That's what okay.
Yeah, right. You guys provide that service too, right there.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we've done an amazing job at. We were meeting with the North Carolina High School Athletic Association yesterday, and just the amount of interest that we've been able to create to get people to raise their hand and say, I want to be a sports official is amazing, because it's not something that's at the forefront of a lot of people's minds. And it's something that we've done a really good job at doing, is getting interest and getting people out there to referee or umpire.
So what levels do you guys go up to? Do you do semi-pro? Do you do AAA? What all you guys do?
Yeah, I would say we would normally call it recreation is probably the best way to say it. So we do everything from 6-year-old basketball to 18-year-old baseball,
Mm-hmm.
and then we do a lot of adult sports as well.
Okay.
And so we really stay out of what I would say is the almost the very competitive space. Like I consider college semi-pro, and we don't really operate in the actual
Got it.
high school space. But, age ranges, anywhere from 6 to 18. I didn't know that you needed referees on 6-year-old games. But
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Really?
people pay for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of our customers is paying
Yeah.
probably $70 a game for 2 referees in 6-year-old basketball.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they deserve the experience too.
6-year-old basketball. Yeah, I'm trying to picture that in my mind.
It's a stressful gig. Trust me.
Man, we were hanging out with the Silbo executives, Brendan Szulik, and as well as Daniel Caldwell. And Daniel, you actually have some experience in both of you guys in sports, particularly you in baseball. How did that experience kind of get your mind around creating this opportunity and this product?
Yeah, I was lucky enough to grow up here in the Triangle. I played college baseball for Elliott Avent at NC State. Had an amazing experience. Played a little bit of minor league baseball. Had a great experience doing that. And then when I was asked to leave from being a professional baseball player,
Asked to leave. I like that.
yeah, well, it's the truth. Well, one of my college teammates kind of randomly called me up, my friend Ryan Combs, and said, Daniel, do you want to come umpire a Little League baseball game with me? And I had never thought of doing this before. And I said, yeah, I'll give it a shot. So I went out there, and then I was a part of a game in a way that I'd never anticipated before, and fell in love with it and wanted to be a part of it ever since, and introduced that same opportunity that came to me to other people.
Yeah.
Which sports did you
I
officiate for?
I did baseball, basketball, and football.
Did you have a favorite?
Basketball was my favorite because I got an opportunity. It was about the money for me, but I got a chance to get more. Hey, that's why I was doing it. I had a chance to do more games. But football, because we did semi-pro leagues in Europe, so football was really fun for me as well because it was the closest I got to actually being a professional referee. Then on the semi-pro basketball, I did the FIBA league in Europe.
Oh wow!
So doing that was really, really fun. But it's such quick and fast pace. It's a different experience. The worst for me was doing the baseball in the middle of the summer with the 12-year-old superstar that that's a ball, that's a strike, and it's like, not really, kid, you're not even close. You're not even close. But yeah, but it was fun. It was really and one of the things I talk to Reese about it all the time. I say I want to do it. I'm gonna start back. and I never actually do it. But it was a great passion. I did have a great time doing it though.
I think that we see a lot of people who get into officiating for the same reasons, which is one, because financial reasons, and two, because they love the game
Right.
and they want to find a way to stay involved. And I think in today's world of gig economies, like you could drive for Grubhub or you could drive an Uber, but with Silbo or something, you can probably make $30 an hour, refereeing sports. And it's fun to be out there on a court. If you're a former athlete, like I'm sure you know, you want to get out there and do a good job. When you're doing a good job as a referee and when you're not. And so it is challenging. Do. Yeah.
So do you guys pair people? So how does this work? So you get it's a crew of 2 or 3 or a crew of 4, and are you just asking to fill one person to fill a spot, or are you asking for a whole crew? Do you put the crew together? How does that work?
They get to select it in the app.
Wow. Okay. I like that too, though.
See, that's what
I do like that aspect of it too.
I think that they've taken out the human
Right.
involvement out of it by creating obviously the technology to do it. We're talking to Daniel and Brendan of Silbo, unbelievable app that can connect, I guess, referees to sports and vice versa. One of the things that when I first met Brendan, we had this conversation. He's a Dookie. We had this whole conversation about
Smart man.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, I'm a referee now. I'm dumb,
man.
right?
You're even smarter.
Right.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. A Duke referee, I tell you, that speaks volumes about who you are.
Oh my goodness! So you guys is not here. You're all over the place. So and you expand and talk about your plans, some things you guys doing on the rise in terms of with your product and with your platform.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think one of the things that we're trying to address right now, and we started in October of last year, is to figure out the sportsmanship issue taking the nation.
Yeah.
it feels like you can't go a day right now with seeing some sort of incidents of violence against an official. You're seeing states, I think yesterday.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
Yeah. I think states like Kansas are now passing or introducing legislation to make assaulting a sports official a felony as opposed to a misdemeanor. And so I think that's something that we're trying to address. We're holding conferences, like I said. We're trying to get thought leaders together, not just from the random sports like baseball, basketball, or volleyball, but people who are coaches, people who are players, people who are parents. A second thing that we're trying to do is increase opportunity for people to become officials. I think, as Daniel said, most people don't know that they have this opportunity. And by advertising the opportunity, we can not only get more people involved in officiating, which is great for us, but also because it's great for sports as a whole.
Right.
The thing that we like to say at Silbo is that, if there's a referee shortage, then kids can't play games, and without games, it's just recess. And so how do we have how do we ensure the continuation of sports and competition throughout our generation and the next? And the last one, you and I were talking about Black History Month before we went on air.
Yeah.
Is that by eliminating the traditional middleman, we found a social mission that we're very proud of. According to the National Association of Sports Officials, less than 10% of officials are African American, for instance. On Silbo, about 35% are African American.
Wow.
And I think that there's part of that is whether you call it conscious or unconscious bias, against African American people, but it's also that we found people want this opportunity, and I know that there's a lot of people who want to get involved in no sports but didn't have the opportunity beforehand, and now with simple technology they can do it.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that by being in this industry at one point. Just the social norms of how it's designed for it to be assigned and for you to prosper and excel in the industry. It was designed where you kind of have to go through this process to where the people that's controlling the commission or controlling the league are the only people that were making those decisions. And if you don't know these people, if you don't associate with these people, you don't get those opportunities because the person they ask is the person they know at church or the person, the Boy Scout leader say, hey, you ever thought about being an official? But they never think about asking the guy that's at work with them, right, that may be a great official because they don't have a social connection to that person. So it ends up being a social thing more than a business thing.
And I think this, Daniel, comes some of the levels of playing field, give people opportunities, regardless whether you're part of this clique or part of this group. If you have the skill set to be a part of this environment, this levels the playing field a lot, I think.
It levels the playing field. And one thing K-Mac said earlier, which is a good thing to say and it's a fine thing to say, is he officiated, to make money. And that's okay. It's skilled labor. You get paid for your skills. And Brendan and I were in the office looking this morning, and so I want to say it was over 22 people that have made over $10,000 on our app. And we have, Reese knows we haven't been around that long.
Right, exactly.
So it's a good way for folks to make good money and have fun doing it.
I mean, honestly, that's how I got into it. I was in the Army at the time, and my commanding officer, my sergeant major, he was the lead. He was he was the president of the officiating commission, and he was the one that he would handpick all of us. And that's how we got the opportunities. And he asked me one day, we were playing intramural basketball. He says, you want to ref a game? I was like, well, I could, but why would I? And he says, because you could make this. I said, yeah, okay, it's a couple of dollars. He said, but no, once I get you certified, I could take you to Brussels and we could start doing the FIBA League. And I said, okay, well, how much is that? And then he showed me. I said, oh. Well, without a doubt, I can become certified. Without a doubt, I can become certified.
Where do I sign?
Where do I sign up? But I got that opportunity not because I went and searched for. I went because a person that knew me reached out to me and said, "Hey, here you go." If I didn't have a relationship with him, I probably would have never gotten that opportunity. And I think the same thing happens all over the country. And I think this app will be wonderful for kind of bridging that gap and giving people an opportunity that don't know a person that's running the league and giving them an opportunity to be successful.
How long is the process? If I never officiated before, I want to become an official. What is the process? How long is the process, guys?
It depends. So the North Carolina High School Athletic Association, if I want to become a baseball official, they'll say, hey, all right, come to our training course in January. Well, if it happens to be July, that's a long time to wait.
Right.
What we do
That's
is
true.
we host pop-up trainings
Okay.
throughout the year all over the country. So if people say, hey, I want to officiate in this sport, once we get enough interest, we'll
Is that easy?
It's
huh?
quite it's geolocated. So as long as you're within 50
man.
miles or something, yeah.
See, trust me. I mean,
I like this kind of.
I know. And having talked about it, Silbo definitely, and we got the CEO and the president here. We got Brennan Szulik as well as Daniel Caldwell here. Just giving you a conversation around, and I guess how can people get more information? What's the website? How to go and download the app? That kind of thing.
Yeah, the website is silbo.ai, silbo.ai. Silbo Spanish for whistle. I think it's Silbo in Spanish. Speak German and Arabic, but not Spanish.
This dude. That's pretty impressive right there.
Yeah.
Thank you. You can go to the website and learn about it there. The app is both in the Google Play and the Apple App Store, and it's called Go Silbo. And you can download it there. If you want to download the app right away, you can download it. You do your onboarding, fill out your name and stuff, and you will receive a call from us.
And trust me, it works because I did, and all of a sudden I'm still getting all these calls. Like I was like, okay, I'm good with it. I may be official real soon.
I'm logging on right now.
Awesome.
Right now, I'm creating my profile.
Yeah, we've got games this weekend. I think there's some playoff games locally.
Oh, wow.
Don't you worry.
Well, as long as we can vet your skill.
There you go. Yeah, because we don't want you out there doing some crazy stuff.
Let me tell you something. I have been trained as an ACC official. So that means I don't have to know anything. I don't have to know anything.
You said ACC, like, really? Are you a ACC official? Wow.
No, it's good. So,
Yeah.
man, this is great. This is great. I just love looking at that. I just love what it can do for people, especially having an opportunity to be able to give back. Can you select? Well, I guess you have to select you. Like, I don't want to see. Don't send me, the church league, 6-year-olds, right? So I don't want to see all of those. Can you kind of set that kind of profile up?
Yeah, you can set your own filters. You
Yeah,
can set
so-
distance, age group, sport, etc.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Man, a lot of people probably gonna love it. I
So
mean,
how you download it again?
It's in the app stores, either the Android or the iOS one, and it's called Go Silbo.
Oh, man.
Silbo.
All right.
Yeah.
Go Silver. All right.
Brenda and Daniel, thank you so much, man,
This
for
is
hanging
cool.
out with us. This is great.
Thanks, Reese. Thanks, Taylor.
Yeah, good stuff there.